Due diligence is the process of basically doing your homework prior to investing in an asset. Due diligence typically falls into a variety of categories. Those three categories are title and legal, physical inspection, and books and records. Let's start with title and legal. Title and legal due diligence means looking into the chain of title and the bundle of rights, as well as the legal physical description of the property. Examining the chain of title means taking a look at the title report to look for easements, liens, other encumbrances, and make sure it's free of those encumbrances when you take possession of the property. It's also important to look at the legal description of the property to make sure that the land underneath the real estate, the improved real estate, is exactly what the buyer believes they are buying. Other things that need to be examined in the legal and title phase of the due diligence are potential city development or impact fees, unidentified mortgage liens, any pending litigation or insurance claims that may exist against the property, as well as any ground leases or other leases that may be recorded. Often this part of the due diligence is handled by a title and escrow company, but it's really important to make sure that you do not leave it just to them, and you have to understand each part of that due diligence. Make sure that you are receiving exactly the bundle of rights to the exact property that you think you are. The next phase of due diligence is the physical due diligence, and this is actually examining the physical asset. I cannot stress to you enough how important it is to do a thorough inspection on the property prior to buying it. So one place you definitely don't want to skimp is by hiring an unqualified inspector and then finding out after the fact that you have hundreds of thousands of dollars or even more of physical issues on the property that you didn't find out during the due diligence phase. Typically, the physical portion of the due diligence will cover the grounds and the structure. So that would include a soils report or an environmental report. It would also include a look at any structural issues, crawl spaces, attics, walls, roof, parking lots, all of the physical property and physical improvements on the property. Finally, we have the books and records, which is the financial performance of the property. Typically, we would examine the leases, the rent roll, all of the income and expenses, and not just the summary of those income and expenses, but looking at the history, looking at the utility bills, looking at all of the expenses, the operating expenses on the property, to see that the cost to operate and the income generated is exactly what we expect it to be. Important to stress here is that if you are an inexperienced real estate investor, utilize the professionals around you. They have a lot of experience. They are typically trained or certified and know what to look for, know what types of things can come up so that you're able to avoid any surprises. In addition to this video, you can download a full multifamily due diligence checklist that goes point by point of each thing that a prudent investor would need to do to conduct a thorough due diligence on a property before acquiring it. And this would include legal and title, operations, books and records, and all of the physical assessment points that are necessary.